The social climate of America is a toxic smog of angry tribalism, fueled by the divisive efforts of the people that are here to lead us and to educate us and to entertain us. Social media has become an ideological battleground for the warring tribes of the left and the right, where smug and self-righteous opinions on social and political issues are the weapons of choice. The left screams that the right is bigoted and ignorant. The right screams that the left hates America and wants to destroy our prosperity. No matter which side of the war you find yourself on, all of this screaming only means that no one can hear each other. Throughout our history, there have always been social divides. In ancient Greece, the great philosopher Socrates sought to teach the people of Athens the process of critical thought. Socrates was a radical. He was looked upon with suspicion by the elite, who believed he was corrupting the young. He challenged his fellow Athenians to question religious ideology and political thought, and for his efforts, Socrates was put to death by his own government. The fate of Socrates was not unusual in the ancient world. Several Roman emperors saw to the persecution, torture, and murder of Christians. Ironically, Christianity ultimately became the state religion of Rome and spread well beyond the empire. The church became the new state power in the West and was often stifling to innovation and new ideas. Copernicus and Galileo published books that were then banned by the church. Galileo was tried by the Inquisition for heresy. His crime? Writing a book of scientific observations that belied the Bible's description of the solar system. These people were the radicals. They were the mob of their time. But without their efforts, where would we be? With the scientific revolution of the early 17th century, Europe entered a period of enlightenment in which the long-standing power of the church and state were challenged. The thinkers and philosophers of the period were considered radicals and heretics. They circulated their ideas through secret gatherings at coffee houses, clubs, literary groups, and in passing out books and pamphlets. The ideas of the Enlightenment undermined the authority of the monarchy and the church, and paved the way for the political revolutions of the 18th and 19th centuries. The Enlightenment led to a new system of government in which the people held the power of the state in check. With the birth of the United States came guarantees of free speech, freedom of the press, and ultimately freedom from government suppression of ideas. For the first time in history, it wasn't merely legal to openly criticize the government. It had become an inalienable right. Before the United States was even a nation, the people were divided on slavery and on loyalty to the crown and on religious ideals. In the 18th century, a religious revival spurred by leaders who felt that largesse from a period of economic boom distracted people from their religious faith, causing a breakdown in traditional values. Sound familiar? These leaders from different faiths sought to find commonality in their beliefs so they could work together in saving the souls of so many distracted Americans. The resulting moral awakening challenged the institution of slavery. As early as 1688, Quakers took up the cause and took the first moral shots fired in the battle to end slavery. In 1733, the founder of the state of Georgia, James Oglethorpe, insisted that slavery be banned from Georgia's inception. By 1800, 8 states had abolished slavery. During the 19th century, organizations headed by women mounted massive campaigns to abolish slavery, creating a nationwide network of manumission groups and conventions. The power that women found in creating the social framework upon which the abolitionist movement was built ultimately led to the 19th Amendment and the right of women to vote. Today, the fight for change rages on. The causes of equality and fairness are still the ground upon which these wars are waged. The armies for social, economic, and political change are better educated and smarter and more informed than those that came before them, and have the weapons found in the vast armories of information freely available to everyone. Ironically, it may be these very tools that have slowed progress. Social science research conducted at Stanford in 1975 and more recently at Harvard demonstrates that adaptive evolution has coded tribalism into our DNA. Humans are hardwired to defend and provide for the tribe at all costs, even when facts are presented that contradict tribal doctrines. The social psychologist Jonathan Haidt said in a recent interview that we're also wired to learn to cooperate with other tribes for the necessity of trade and survival. It seems that in our current social environment, we've forgotten how to accomplish this in our pursuit of showing our rival tribe what morons they are. We no longer see those with opposing points of view as simply wrong or misguided, but as ignorant, uneducated, stupid, or just plain evil. It takes the efforts of people with many different backgrounds, education, religion, philosophies, and ideas to make lasting change. Without conservatives to counterbalance liberals, without liberals to counterbalance conservatives, what would prevent a tyranny of the ideological majority? I hate to break it to you conservatives and to you liberals, but the fact is you need each other, as does our country and our world. All of us want to believe that our social and political ideals are driven by what is right and what is important. Yet, like the iron grip of religious doctrine that choked the life out of free thought in the centuries before the Enlightenment, we're mired in the ideological mud of our inability to do the work that it takes to stop our Pavlovian tribal reactions and carefully consider different ideas. The thinkers of the Enlightenment recognized that it would take a conscious effort to break free of our primitive necessity to hold on to our tribal gospels. If you really want to make change that is important, you're going to have to do the work that it takes to stop screaming about conservatives that want to teach religion in schools or liberals that want to teach gender identity in classrooms, and start listening to each other. The road upon which we walk towards enlightenment is under our feet. But we did not build it. Those that came long before us did, and like any road, over time it becomes potholed and covered in oil and shows the cracks and stress of age. The road signs that indicate where we're headed, what dangers lie ahead, and instructions on how to reach our destination often need to be repaired and changed and updated. For these flaws in design, we do not blame those who built the road. We understand very well that they built this road with the tools and ideas of their time, and that through hard work and innovation, the tools that we have today will build a far better road, but only when we recognize that America is not just for the ideas and beliefs of conservatives or liberals, but that America belongs to all of us.
You're an asshole, and you know it!